Welcome back to the Impact Podcast. I'm here with my two beautiful hosts, Jessica and Alexis Carrera. And today we have the one and only Austin Rutherford. He's an entrepreneur, author, successful seven-figure businessman from Ohio.
I love it.
Welcome.
It is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dive into my first question. First off, I deep dived into your life a little bit. I am so impressed by you, sir. Like, you are killing it. The Yahoo, the first article that I came across was the Yahoo article talking about your first purchase in investing. Can you tell us a little bit about this duplex and kind of how it manifested and how you got that first $25,000?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I bought my first duplex when I was 20 years old in Columbus, Ohio, on Ohio State University's campus. And the way that I was able to do it is I used a conventional loan to buy the property with 20% down. But, 20 years old, you don't just come up with $25,000. So
No.
When I was a teenager and even younger, I would cut grass. I'd shovel driveways. I'd flip Buckeye necklaces. I'd buy candy in bulk from like Sam's Club, and then go to school and then sell the candy. I got pulled into the principal's office because they thought I was slinging dope in school.
I can imagine that.
And they told me I couldn't do it anymore. So, kind of another blessing to go with that. When I was younger, I loved having like physical cash, and I would lose it all the time. So my parents would make me like put my money in a bank, but I wasn't of age to have a bank account. So it was like their bank account, but it was like my money. And, as I was growing up, I'd want to buy like an ATV or like a four-wheeler or a dirt bike or something. And I'd be like, hey, Ma, like, can I get that $5,000 to go buy what, my money to buy what I want? And she was like, no. I was like, what do you mean no? Like, it's my money. But looking back.
I love your mom.
Yeah. So looking back, it was a blessing because like it taught me to actually save money for the right reasons.
That's incredible. So what was your return on investment on that? Do you still own it, or have you flipped it?
I sold it like a week ago. I owned it for 7 or 8 years, and I just sold it.
What was your return on investment from that sale?
Yeah, so I ended up, I think I bought it for like $225, and I was netting about $1,000 a month in cash flow over the last 7.5, 8 years. I refied it one time during that period, pulled out like 30 grand in cash at that time. And then when I sold it, I made about another $180,000. So a little over 200 net on like the sale, if you include
Lovely.
the refi. And then, the $1,000 a month in cash flow on top of that.
So what's the plan with that 200,000? What's like the next big move?
Oh, you already know he's going to reinvest it. Come on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I mean, I know
The wise
already.
reinvest. That's what it's all about.
For
Profit
sure.
reinvest.
Nah, I put it all in the crypto.
Did you?
Oh no!
Don't even get me going. Don't even
get me going. Ryan and I have completely different opinions and views when it comes to crypto.
Fair enough. I don't know whose side I'm on, but I'm very.
You're on my side.
You're on, yeah. That's all that one down there. So what are your views on crypto? Let's talk about it. I mean, like what cryptocurrency did you invest in?
Yeah, so I love crypto. I think it's the future. It's the single largest investment I've ever made in my life by far. So, again, not financial advice, but what I own is Bitcoin, obviously, a little bit of Ethereum, Cardano, ADA, and then Hex, HEX. It's up about 100% in the last 3 days, while the entire market is down. So I ended up buying that at 0.8 of a penny. And it hit 20 cents at one point today. So people are saying it'll go to $1 by August. So we'll see what happens.
So question on that. What do you think? Obviously, I feel like crypto is going to end up being like, I feel like one currency is just going to take off, and that's what we're all going to end up being with, whether it's Bitcoin or something else. Ryan's shaking his head no, but I feel like it's going to be one heavy hitter, almost working like banks, right? So what one do you think is going to be the top dog?
So what crypto is, right? Like some of them are made to be currencies. Other ones are made to be businesses. So you have like the stock market and you have the crypto market. Like there's a lot of stocks that are successful. And in my opinion, there's going to be a lot of cryptos that are successful. So each coin is made to do a different thing. Like Hex is made to be a security deposit, CD. So you deposit the money and you earn an interest rate on it. Bitcoin is like gold. It's like a store of value. Cardano.
So let's talk about based off of this then. Let's say based off of regular currency, like instead of using cash, instead of using, going to the ATM, using debit cards and credit cards, what currency is going to take the world by storm in that case?
That I do not know, because the problem with it, like Bitcoin, back in the day, people bought pizzas with Bitcoin. It was 100,000 Bitcoin to buy pizza. Like, I'm sure he'd want his 100,000 Bitcoin to sell pizza.
Seriously.
So Bitcoin to me is like a store of value rather than, a way of monetary exchange. Now, I do think there will be one for that. I just don't know which one it is yet.
Oh, that'll be crazy. That's what I see happening with all this. I actually had, long story short, I had a client that was interested on a property. I talked to the listing agent, and the listing agent was also the owner. And he said, hey, listen, cash, conventional, Bitcoin. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's a first. That's a first for me. It's absolutely insane. And I definitely do see it going somewhere. However, I do have my views on it, investing in it right now. It's just, it's all over the place, but that's really cool. That's really, really cool.
Very high risk, very high reward. 100%.
Yeah.
Agreed. It's because high reward. You get in really, really low, and it's like, you start out. Because what I do, I put I probe. I just put I'll put like $300 on this and that, and just kind of see what happens, and then just like keep an eye on it. It's my baby, and then it's like when it starts jumping, I go put some more in, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm a long-term investor myself. So you didn't get into the Doge. Somebody put in their Dogecoin. I got most of mine in Dogecoin right now, and it's.
I'm not touching Doge personally.
Yeah, because I was supposed to get up to $1 too, and we got close.
Yeah,
we got close. Yeah.
Hey, listen, Alexis, you told me to get out yesterday. It went up like 6% since then, so I don't want to.
Did it? Okay. All right. Well, I'm not. Predicting the stock market is.
Well, it went down too, also.
And Bitcoin's a completely different beast. I know you weren't asking how I feel about Bitcoin, but I like Bitcoin.
Bitcoin scares me because we don't know who created it. So I got out because of that.
Oh, my husband and I, we bought about when it was $27,000. We bought some, and then I cashed out when it was almost 60. We sold off one of our vehicles on it.
You timed it right.
Perfect. It was great. It was like right before it dropped again. So you just gotta buy it in the low and sell in the high. My biggest concern would be how the government's going to tax that money. Is it going to be personal property tax where you're paying income tax of, in your case, probably like 40% taxes on it? I'm paying like 12.
That's what my CPA is telling me. It's going to be taxed at the highest rate. So just like flipping houses, less than a year, unless you obviously hold it more than a year. But that's my understanding. That's how we're going to file it. But time will definitely tell.
Agreed.
I got a question for you, Austin. I know there's different. Obviously, when you're dealing with real estate, there's a lot of different ways you can use a property. But when flipping a home on just burn and flip, what do you look for when you're trying to just doing that?
Yeah, so basically any deal that comes into our pipeline nowadays, there's two ways we look at it. We look at it as a rental or a flip. Rental is our first exit strategy right now. So we look to do the BRRRR method and get into it for 75 cents on the dollar. So we can, when we refi out of it, we have none of our money invested and it cash flows $400 a month. So if it fits that box, we're keeping it as a rental. We're going to do the BRRRR method on it. So net zero on the refi, and then $400 a month in cash flow. If it doesn't fit that, then we go to the flipping option. And now we're looking to make 15 to 20% net on the deal. So if we sell the property for $200,000, we want to net $30,000 to $40,000 on the property. And we want the rehab budget to be less than $50,000. And if it fits those boxes, we're flipping it. And let's say it fits the 20% net, but it's a $100,000 rehab, then we're going to go to wholesale it because we don't want to take all that time and energy and effort and the risk of the market changing in the meantime to do the flip. So first is rental, second is flip, third is wholesale.
I love that. Wow. That was we just shut it down after that one. That was awesome.
Seriously. Shut it down. All right, guys. Thanks, folks, for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Yeah.
What's your view on like long-term rentals? Or I mean, short-term rentals.
Yeah, so short-term rentals are great too. So I got 2 Airbnbs right now, and I was not a believer at the beginning of Airbnbs. Like I ran my numbers and thought like it didn't make sense, and then I had trouble leasing a property. It was a 6-unit building, so I was like, all right, let me try an Airbnb in one of these. And it was like a net kind of zero compared to renting for the first year, and then the second year, like I'm making a lot of money. And then I had another circumstance where I had another house come up, and like, so that was a 2-bedroom house. This is a 4-bedroom, like really, really nice house. And I was like, all right, let me try and Airbnb this one. And in July, we're going to pull in over $12,000 on one house. You know, my net on that is like $7,000 to $8,000 on one property. So I'm definitely a believer in short-term rentals now. I own about 60-ish rentals, and we'll be transitioning some of those into Airbnbs going forward, especially in that specific neighborhood. So we're in the process of turning like 7 more into Airbnbs right now. So I'm a fan of it. It does take more time, energy, effort, teams, management. But if you have the right systems and processes in place, you know, it can be very highly profitable.
Yeah,
I think. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. You can go ahead.
It was piggybacking on that. How do you feel about corporate arbitrage? Do you do that practice in the short-term rental?
So like rent it and then like rent it to a corporate for like a couple months, or what do you mean?
So corporate arbitrage, you basically would find somebody who's renting their property, and you go and say, hey, it's $2,000 a month to rent this property on the beach. I'm going to rent it, but know that I'm going to Airbnb it out. So you pay the rent each month, but then you take all the rest of the income.
Like a sub.
Like a sub. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So I don't do that. I know a lot of people that run very profitable businesses with that. I don't want to lock myself in. Like, I only buy rental properties that make sense as rentals. And then, you know, the bonus income of Airbnbs is just a bonus. Because the problem is, like, I owned Airbnbs when COVID hit. And everybody canceled for 12 months. We lost 12 months of income, and I made $212 in the month of March or April of last year. So like, I've seen the downside to it. So for whatever reason, if something happens, or your city implements a law, or the government implements a law, or Airbnb something happens, and that's no longer an option, you know, you're going to be stuck holding the bag if you project numbers based on Airbnb rather than just rental property. So again, I know a lot of people that are very profitable, but to me, it's a little bit of a risk, because that's your only exit strategy. And if that doesn't work, you know, you can get stuck holding the bag at that point.
Yeah, I think Airbnb, I mean, the problem, I don't know if you felt like this, but the problem with Airbnb is when you're doing a short-term rental, there's no guarantee that somebody is going to be continuously renting out your property, where when you have a long-term rental, you have them locked into an agreement. They have a lease, and you know how much you're coming in, and you can weigh out your net and your costs based off of that and how much you're going to make annually, where there's no guarantee with that with Airbnb, because it's short-term. Is somebody going to rent it next month? I don't know. We'll wait and find out. I mean, what's the demand with it? But like what Jess was saying, I feel like in that situation, it really benefits, in my opinion, that benefits more of somebody who doesn't have money to invest in a rental themselves. So they're piggybacking off of already a homeowner to do an Airbnb situation for themselves. And in that case, I mean, I'm sure a lot of younger people who don't have, you know, instead of borrowing from the banks to invest into a property and flip it and do what they need to do and put it on Airbnb and manage that property, it gives them an opportunity. It gives them ability. Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about that, Jess, to be completely honest. I feel like that could be, if I were the homeowner, I would rather, like, who's interested in renting the property? Let me talk to them exclusively, because that middleman situation could get really sticky.
No, I agree. I mean, let's keep it real. If in my opinion, if you're young, you know, you can still risk it, because if you lose everything, like, what do you lose at the end of the day? You lose a couple $1,000, like, you can still bounce back from that. So, you know, for somebody who can't afford to own, I think it could potentially be a great idea. I own them, so like I never even really like ran the numbers to see if it actually made sense. But again, I know people that are making six figures a month net by doing Airbnb arbitrage. So I know it is possible. I'm just not personally doing it.
Yeah, that's some serious residual income for that. Whoever that, like, let's say Jess found somebody to Airbnb your property. You know, that's some serious residual income for Jess, because she invested nothing into it.
100%. All you have to do
is all gain.
As long as the property owner is okay with doing it, and you have to get that like approved up front. 100%. Yeah. Definitely.
Sign here, please.
Yeah.
Everything in writing.
All right, I got another question for my man Austin here. What does success mean to you?
What does success mean to me? That's a great question. Yeah. So for me, is living how I want to live, right? You know, for many, many years in my business, I was caught chasing something that I thought I wanted because other people looked like they were enjoying that, right? It was what I was supposed to be doing, scaling a business, making money, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, my net profit went down the more that I scaled. And it wasn't success. Like, I hated going to the office. I hated dealing with those types of people. I hated being on the phones all the time. Like, it was just something I didn't enjoy. So my definition of success is doing what you want at the end of the day. You know, I just moved to Florida a month and a half ago. You know, my business kept me in Ohio for years because I thought that I had to be there to run the business. You know, I thought about moving to Florida for 2 years. Finally pulled the trigger. Wish I'd have done it years ago. So, you know, actually a lot of people build their business and then fit their lifestyle in around their business. The way that I'm living now is I'm building my lifestyle and then figuring out how I can make money around that lifestyle. You know, I think a lot of people have it backwards. And the other thing, when people start working and going after success, whatever that means to them, everybody has a why. You know, whether that's helping your family, giving back, donating, whatever it is. But then you start making money and you forget to go back to that why. So you get caught chasing money for the rest of your life, but your why was to spend time with your wife, but you never actually go back and spend time with your wife, and now you're in a divorce. So success to me is like living life how you want to live it, and not for you, and not for how other people want you to live your life.
That was, yeah, well said. I can relate with that a lot. You and I are actually very similar in a lot of ways.
I love it.
Yeah, I Ryan, don't wait. Pull the trigger, man. Just do it.
I was going to say, I mean, we're both
I'll be the
born in
one.
93. You know, I'm trying to go out to Florida myself. We're both in real estate entrepreneur mindset. So,
I love it.
you know, it's kind of cool.
And I love what you said. I love what you said too about, you know, be really careful about what you invest your time into, and don't forget your why. I'm a firm believer in your why are you doing it? Where are you going with it? And what is it? Where, what, and why? What do you want? Why are you doing it? And where are you going with it? So those are huge for me. And obviously time frame, your when, that's a big one too. You have to put a time on that, because if you don't, you could be spinning your tires and living one day at a time and forgetting your game plan. So it's huge to make sure you have goals set in place for that too, to make sure that happens. But what you said that really stuck out to me was something that I talk about quite often, is keeping that balance. You know, a lot of people as entrepreneurs, we love working. You know, this is what we do. We talk about it. We can eat, sleep, dream, work. This is entrepreneurship in any way, shape, or form. I'm constantly, and I'm sure I can speak for everybody in this room, thinking about what I could do next that somebody else hasn't done to solve people's problems. Stay top of mind. But a problem solver, that's when you really hit the jackpot, is if you can find something that is a problem for everybody and solve that problem and sell it to them. A service, a product, whatever it is, be a problem solver. For $19.99, yeah, on sale, $10.99. That's what I'm talking about. But that's what we do, and we live it, and it's an everyday thing, and we get stuck in this motion of just driving ourselves forward, and we forget our why. And then when that happens, you know, we're here and our business is doing really good, but then our personal lives start really taking a hit. And it's really, a lot of people don't realize that. So finding that balance and keeping that, I look at it as like a teeter-totter, you know, you got to find that balance. And keep everybody happy, and that's when you really live a successful life full of happiness in and out. It should be everybody's goal. Keep it just here. It's hard to do.
Very hard to do, yeah. Easier said than done.
In one of your videos, you talked about surrounding yourself with incredible people, and I know Alexis harps on this a lot, like the 5 people you are around the most are who you are going to become. So with that, what's one of your favorite events that you've gone to? Watching one of your videos, and you have $25,000 for an event just to be in a room full of successful people. What was your favorite event and why?
That's a great question. I mean, the power of the people you surround yourself with is an absolute game changer. So I spend probably about $100,000 a year on mentorship, masterminds, and continuously putting myself around the right people. So you know, there's one mentor where I've paid $35,000 a year for 4 years in a row. So that's one of my favorite rooms, because, you know, he brings in a lot of other high level people, you know, billionaires, people who sold their companies for 8, 9, 10 figures. Like, that's what I want to be around. So that's been amazing. And honestly, like, I think there's never just one that does the trick, you know, because at the end of the day, you meet different people from each different one. And some of the best ones that I've been to have been outside of my industry. Because when you're going to things just in your industry, everybody's talking the same thing, you know. But if you go outside of your industry, you're open up to a whole nother world that, you know, you can actually learn about. So I like going to like just general entrepreneurial things rather than you know, real estate specific. But you know, what a lot of people don't
I love it.
what a lot of people don't get, like, it takes one connection to change your life. Like, that's it. It takes one viral video and boom, your life's changed forever. It takes one connection, your life's changed forever. It takes one deal, your life's changed forever. Everybody like thinks about, well, I got to do these 1,000 things. Yeah, you might have to, but it only takes one at the end of the day. So, I met a guy at a car show. I bought a Rolls Royce Wraith. I thought I didn't deserve the Wraith. I bought it, and I was able to go to a car show. And I had a conversation with another guy that pulled up in a $700,000 car because I had a nice car. And, we're going to go on to make millions of dollars together in a new business venture. I wouldn't have been able to have that if I didn't go to it, and if I didn't buy the car, and if I didn't speak up and have a conversation with that person. So, it's huge. Power of the people you surround yourself with is a game changer.
Agree.
Preaching. I love that so much.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Okay, so where we at? Oh, yeah.
We are like, ooh, this is just.
I knew Alexis would love that question.
Repetition.
Give it to me.
That was a great question, Jess. That was a great question.
I got a whole bunch. I'm ready.
That was a really good question. I had a question in mind. What was it? It was going to be off of, oh my God, it just slipped. I hate when that happens.
It's okay. She'll get there.
I'll get there. Go ahead, Ryan, because I'm going to remember it. It was a good one, too.
So, yeah, we'll come back to her.
I just remembered it.
I got a question, so kind of have to go back to it, but what's the difference between, what are you looking for initially between an Airbnb and a rental property? Is it just area, or is there more to it than that?
Yeah, so for an Airbnb, to make it, so when I first ran my numbers on an Airbnb, I assumed a 50% occupancy rate. I had no idea if that was accurate or not. On my bigger properties, our occupancy is about 60%. On my smaller, kind of more affordable, quote unquote ones, my occupancy is 98%. So it has to be in a place where people are traveling to, number one.
Right.
And you got to figure out how to make yours better than the ones that you're competing with again at the end of the day. Because if people are looking at comparing three of them together, if yours is in the worst condition, you're not going to get booked. So I look for high travel, high density where people are in and out. And also the amenities that the place offers. So, you don't want to be in a basement or something unless your price reflects that. But if you're trying to get top price, the amenities have to correlate to that as well. So the biggest thing is just if you can have it 100% occupied, it's really easy to run numbers. You know what I mean? But if you got to guess from 30% to 50% to 70%, it's very difficult to run accurate numbers at that point.
You never know what you're going to get.
Agreed, for sure.
I started
a box of chocolates.
Yeah. So, Austin, have you ever heard of Turo?
Yeah, absolutely. I do that everywhere.
Do you Turo? Do you actually have vehicles that you rent out?
No, I rent the Turos.
You should absolutely look into it. It has been.
He's the rentee.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I don't know. You're all about making money, so it's another form of income. I do. It's an easy way.
Do you have high-end cars or the lower-end cars?
I do have lower-end cars. So I don't have a Rolls. I'm not there yet. I don't have a Lambo. I have a Jeep. It's $50 a day, and you talk about Airbnb. You really don't know what your occupancy is going to be. Same scenario. And anything you have an investment like that, it's $50 a day. But I don't know how much money I'm actually going to make. I might make $100 one month, and I might make $1,000 the next month. It's that gamble, but it's worth it.
For sure.
Absolutely. Jump.
Yeah, it's affordable. I like that,
yeah.
actually.
I like that, too. If the car's sitting in the driveway, what are you going to, you might as well make an investment off of it or make a residual income off of it at some point. So what I think with that, I feel like my input was somebody saw Uber, and they're like, listen, we can take this one step further. Right? Let's take this one step further and let people drive themselves around.
Yep.
Rent out your cars all the time. I mean, people do it all the time. Renting cars has been around forever, but renting our own, I guess we never really thought of that.
Well, I thought of it, but I don't really live in a high traffic area for.
You would be very surprised. I'm just saying, Austin's the man over here, and he's all about the investment, so you might want to look into that.
Well, I already have a extra car. I got a sports car just sitting out here.
I do too. I could rent out my Wrangler.
I guess I could list it and see what happens. You never know, I guess.
I'll take at least 5% cut of everything.
I might
No.
just do it. I might just do it and then,
about that.
I might just do it and then make a podcast episode about it. Like, hey, check this out. My next question, I'm wondering, what is one thing, like, you have your why, but what's your where? Where are you going to go with it? And what is the one thing that you think is going to get you there? Like, what's the one thing that you want the most out of your why?
No, so it's a great question. No one's ever like phrased it like that. So great question. But at the end of the day, like when I first got into business, my why was to make money. Like I wanted to have the nice things. I wanted to travel.
It's got to be so much more than that. It has to come from it's got to come from your gut. It's got to come from your heart. It has to come from your soul. Like you got to find that. Finding that it's when that, I don't know if you remember that day, because I remember mine. I remember that day, and I'll remember that day for the rest of my life.
No, 100%. Money's cool, but when you start making it, you're like, all right, what's next? That's when it hit me. Is to help and give back to other people. People always ask me like, why do I give out so much free content and all that stuff? Every day I get messages from people, telling me like, yo, I just retired my mom. I just bought my first house. I just quit my first job. So like, that's why I do it now, is the why at the end of the day. And something that I'm very, I believe strongly in. A lot of people think that like money's an evil thing. And I've been there, when I bought my first car, like I felt not deserving of the vehicle because I was like wastefully. Actually, I literally called my mentor and I was like, why do I feel like I don't deserve this car? So people grow up in a world like money's never talked about. I remember like, your friend's mom would take you to lunch or something and then they come out and like hand the money to like the other mom and like try and let nobody see it type of thing. Like it was never talked about. So I talk about money all the time, every time. And you can't help as many people as you want to help without money.
Thank you.
People are like, yo, I want to help. Money's not everything. All right, cool. How many people are you going to help when you're broke? 1, 5, 10, maybe? What if you
maybe yourself? You can't even help yourself.
Exactly. But what if you go out and you make $100 million? You write a $10 million check. How much is that actually going to help somebody? So my way of getting there, I believe crypto will get me there. To the 9-figure mark. So that's like the how, along with a lot of other things, but I think that'll be exponential. And why is to continuously give back to people. So, my family, people that help me get to the position that I am, and people that I don't know, motivate them to get to where they want to go.
Us. We're like so happy that you're even here, like giving us a moment of your time. Just throw that out there.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I've been following you for years, brother. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So I'll go.
Appreciate you guys having me on. This is fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is cool.
So I was wondering, what is it like in the day of a life of you? Like, are you a morning person?
I saw that YouTube video.
Sorry, I didn't make it there. I didn't find it. So are you a morning person? Are you a night owl? Like, what gives you success in your day?
Yeah, so, people always make the excuse of sleeping. They don't want to get up. They can't stay up late, whatever it is. I hate getting up in the morning, and I go to sleep early at night. So, I'm not really like either. But people ask me, like, do you drink coffee? Do you have, energy drinks? Like, I don't drink any of that. I feel like it's all here. At the end of the day, what's between your ears is going to get you to where you want to go. So I get up, 6-ish, give or take, work on me till about 9, don't really look at my phone, don't like look at emails. I'd work out, I journal, I read, I manifest, I do my affirmations. Like I focus on myself. And then like 8, 9 o'clock, I kind of get into the day and, work, get some phone calls, go out for a walk. And then like when it's bedtime, like when I put my head down, I'm asleep. Like I'll fall asleep like that. And it's usually like 10-ish, give or take. And yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. But I love traveling too. Traveling's my big thing past that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pre-COVID.
No, I still travel.
Dude,
But you live in Florida, so you live and like travel. What part of Florida do you live in?
So we just moved to South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area.
Oh, very nice.
Lovely.
Huge fan of that.
That's nice. That's
So
nice.
what's next for you?
That's a good question. So, I mean, I made my money in real estate. Still doing real estate. Still own the rental portfolio, Airbnbs, flips, wholesales, everything between. But it's how can I grow multiple streams of income more? So I have a data company that I'm in the process of growing. I have the education company and brand that I'm in the process of growing. I think the two biggest opportunities in today's world is branding and crypto. I think when people ask you in the future how much, what your net worth is, the equivalent of the followers that you have can be compared to your net worth. Because if you have that many people that like, adore, love, trust, all those things, you can make money. Not only can you change people's lives, you can make money from that. So I'm trying to build my brand as big as possible right now. And then two, crypto. I think there'll be more millionaires made in crypto in the next 3 to 5 years than there's ever been in real estate combined. So, that's where a lot of my time is going right now, building a brand massively and trying to put as much money into cryptocurrencies as possible.
Okay, I'm going to piggyback off that a little. What if...
All right, go ahead.
What if there was a way for you to have a third source of residual income based off of your brand, people joining you and you making money off of everybody that comes underneath you in a way of just sponsorship to a company?
Yeah, there's a million ways to make money with a brand. If you look at the guy, who's the YouTuber? I forget his name, but he made like the hamburger shops, and boom, it's $1 billion company overnight. You can drop a clothing line, boom, it's $1 million company overnight. So the brand will produce all opportunities in the future for me, I think. I don't even know what half those opportunities are, but if you're out there and people know that your business or whatever it is, and somebody has the idea of a lifetime, but they can't fulfill that idea or they don't have the money to, guess what? They're messaging me like, yo, Austin, I got this crazy idea. Can you help me out? Okay, cool. Just because I had the brand, I got that opportunity. And then you have affiliates, coaching. Like, you can make money in so many ways on the brand. And that's why I believe it's such a big opportunity, because there's a million ways to monetize yourself. Like, what kills me is when people rock other people's stuff. Like, if you like Nike, Adidas, you know what I mean? Like, you're giving somebody else free branding. They're not paying you. They're not paying you a penny. My girlfriend even jokes, kind of serious, but like, I wear the same things. I wear Elevate, that's my brand, and I wear Austin Rutherford, that's my brand. Like, I'm rocking myself because I'm going to pay myself more than anybody else in the world can ever pay me. So build a brand is going to pay dividends for the future.
Boom. Boom. That was huge. I preach that all the time. I mean, when I got involved in real estate right out of the gate, I was like, listen, I know it's going to be a steep ladder, steep mountain for me to climb, but I'm doing this on my own, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to grow somebody else's brand. I'm not representing anybody but myself. I'm the one doing the work. I'm the one with the mastermind. I'm the one with this, and I'm the one with these in my car and driving and putting all my time and effort and money into this. That's me.
People do business with you. They don't care what brokerage they're at. They don't care.
That's true.
Like, they're calling you. They don't have your name and then like Remax next to it. Like, they don't care about
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
They don't
and then
know.
the people that do,
clients.
let them go.
I asked my past clients, hey, when I was thinking about switching to EXP, I was like, hey, did you choose me because of me or my brand, or because my brokerage? They're like, we don't even know what brokerage you worked for.
100%. It doesn't matter.
To you.
And you can take that, once you build that, you can take it anywhere. Just like you said, $1 million overnight, because you have all these followers and this brand and this, this empire almost, if you will. And it's, people don't get it. They really don't. And I'm just like, because like I do a lot of funny videos and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'll see you at the top, guys. Like, whatever.
Thanks.
I'm just trying to get attention. And
Get the
then
clout.
once I get you, then you know what I'm saying? We'll go from there. And I'm trying to give out value and make people laugh and smile and happy. Like, they don't get it, but that's okay. More for me.
Yeah, it is. It's all about like being yourself. I mean, I'm a multiple business owner myself, and then I come from that. Like, I come from a very heavy entrepreneurial mindset family, and I thank them for it, because I don't think I'd be the person I am today. But I think that's number one, is just being you, being your authentic, true self. And one thing that you have, Austin, is you're very relatable, and that's what people are drawn to, and that's what's really cool. You're very, very relatable. You're so down to earth. You're just you, and like, don't ever stop being. All of us, never stop being you, ever. That's the biggest thing. As soon as you lose that light, I mean, that's when it's going to go one way or the other. You have to be really careful with that. There's only one you. There's only one you. Nobody can be you. Nobody can pretend to be you. Nobody can try to be you. But I think because you're so heavily in entrepreneurship, do you have your real estate license? Are you licensed as a realtor at all?
I am, but I don't do anything with it.
You should really consider looking into EXP Realty?
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I got a lot of friends in it, but like I haven't sold a house in 6 years. So, but I
Don't worry about it.
You just
Don't
use
worry
it for
about it.
flips and stuff like that, or do you just
What?
give it all to your girlfriend because she's a realtor? I know that.
Yeah, I really just used it for access to the MLS, but now that I know there's other ways to access the MLS, like I don't really even care about it. You know, I'll probably let it lapse on the next go round, to be honest with you.
Let somebody else deal with all that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what EXP Realty can offer somebody like yourself with the brand and the pride and everything that you've grown for yourself. It could seriously benefit you in some residual income ways.
I believe
For
that.
sure.
I do.
For seriously, that rev share would be beautiful.
For sure.
100%. All right, well,
Sorry, go ahead, Jess. Go ahead.
yeah, I do have one more quick question. So what advice would you give a first-time investor?
So there's two things you need to do to actually start anything in life, especially real estate investing. It's very simple. You need to learn and then implement. So learn what you want. People say like, I got 20K. What should I do? I can't answer that question for you. You know what I mean? Is that your last 20K? Do you need that to live on? Do you need that for the future? Do you already have income coming in? So if you need money today, learn the skill of wholesaling. If you already have money coming in today and you're just looking to build like generational wealth, learn the skill of raising other people's money and acquiring assets and doing the Burr method. That's how I've been able to build my entire rental portfolio. But whatever it is, the first stage is learning, which you can do through YouTube University. You can do through books. You can hire a mentor. You can hire a coach. You can go to free meetups. There's free and paid ways of doing that, but learn and then implement. Very few people ever actually get to the implementation phase. They just learn. They get paralysis analysis, whatever it is, and they never actually take action. And most people want to learn like A to Z. You need to learn like A to D and then implement that. And then like for real estate, learn how to market and then start marketing. And then when people call you, then learn how to take calls. And then when you start getting on the phone and you got to make an offer, then learn how to make offers. You don't need to know the entire thing. So my advice would be to start. Again, most people never do that. And learn for like a month, maybe, really like 2 to 3 weeks, and then implement everything that you learn. Nothing out here is new, right? None of this is rocket science. Like, somebody trying to land on Mars, that's new. Doing real estate, doing e-com, doing drop shipping, being a realtor, whatever it is, it's been done a million times before. So why not just implement what works? If you learn, that's what you learn. Just do that.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
100%. It just magically ends up happening and working.
That's how I felt with the app Clubhouse. I would get on there. I'm like, all these big players on there, just shedding all these nuggets. I'm like taking notes. I was like honored to be on stage, and like have my questions. And then I'm like, well, I think it was Grant Cardone, and he came on there and he was just like, listen, if you're not implementing any of this, then you're completely wasting your time. Ever since then, I literally exited out and haven't been on in months. Because I'm like, man, I'm going to take this stuff and actually put it in action, because you can be the smartest person in the world, but if you don't act upon it, it's literally pointless.
100%.
So let's talk about that. Why do you think people who learn all of this information choose not to implement it? I have my theory, and I want to know if it's the same as yours.
They're scared of failure. They're scared about pushback.
Fear.
They're scared about what people are going to say. Fear kills more dreams than anything else ever will. And that's so crazy.
It is. I always say one of the biggest things that I'm like, I constantly talk to some of the agents that I have, or like just people in general. If you're in your head, you're dead. Get out of there.
100%. And how so about 2.5 years ago, like I truly had confidence within myself. And up until then, I never like really believed in myself. Like I knew like how to make money. I could make, a couple 6 figures or something, but I didn't like really believe in myself. And when that flipped for me, when I had true belief in myself and didn't care about like anybody's opinion or nothing, that's when my business like 10x'd. But how you get that confidence and that belief is by doing those morning routines that we talked about earlier. Is by, looking good physically. Like when I have a six pack, like believe me, I walk around a lot taller. When I do my manifestations and my affirmations and I read my books and I journal every single day, like that builds this. If this is strong, nothing else can break you at the end of the day.
So true.
I'm learning.
And walk with a good heart too. I mean, so many people, when money changes them, don't let it change you. Be you.
Money don't change you. Money bring out the real you. If you're an asshole, you're going to be a big
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah. It was always there. It just needed to be exposed.
For sure. But like back to your heart question, you know, when I told you, like, when I go to sleep at 10 o'clock, like, I'm asleep, it's because, like, I live my life, like, pure. You know, I've never done anybody dirty purposely. I don't owe a single soul on this planet any money, like, nothing. Like, I do right by everybody to a fault. Like, I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars when I had no business losing money because I was trying to do right by somebody that did me wrong. And that's fine. Like, everybody's going to get what's coming to them. But be at peace with yourself. Like, when you lay down in bed, go to sleep. Don't have regrets. Don't be like, man, is so-and-so going to find this out? Or your girl, like, asks for your phone, like, oh, you know, I got to delete that one. No. Just live life, like, real to you. Because at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, it's the only opinion that matters.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yep.
Absolutely.
100%.
Be the best version of yourself always. I mean, I try to do one good deed every day. That's the biggest
100%.
thing for me, too. Like, picking up, the other night I was out to dinner and some local police department, a couple of guys were eating dinner and I picked up their tab just because I wanted to, you know, do as much as I could for them. And it's just, it makes me feel good. And I just feel like I'm giving back as much, the little amount that I can right now, just giving back as much as possible. And that's the biggest thing, just taking those baby steps forward. It's huge.
I love that.
All right, so I have another question.
Jessica,
I did not know what this was, and I know that you're a big advocate of it. So I want to talk about private money lending and what it is, and like it's a new concept to me. So if you could just like elaborate for the noobs here.
For sure.
Appreciate
Shine on it.
So when I got into the business, everybody always told me, like, you needed money to do this business. And I bought my first house in 20, bought my second house in 21. Like, I didn't have real money. Like, I didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars. The second house I bought, I was broke, like broke. I had like $1,000 to my name or something. And so I would go out there on market to find houses. And then my mom always asked me, she's like, well, what are you going to do when, like, you get a house? Like, you don't have any money. Like, you're doing all this work and then you're not going to be able to do anything. And I was like, I'll figure that out. And I got the property under contract. I'm like, all right, well, you know, I got to raise $250,000 to fund this deal. Most people think that, like, banks is the only way to get your deal funded. And you got to have credit, you got to have income, you got to have DTI, you got to have all these things to get qualified for a loan. But what people don't know is that there are, like, investor loans out there. And there's two different things, and they're getting confused all the time. There's hard money and there's private money. So hard money is an institution just like a bank that lends money to investors that has mostly the same guidelines. You still got to have income. They still do a credit check. You really kind of got to have experience, and you got to have a down payment on the property, 5, 10, 20%. Now, with private money, it's truly like, it's amazing like what it is. You get 100% funding on a deal. You can structure it where you don't pay any monthly payments. You can structure it so you get the entire rehab balance up front on the purchase. So if it's $100K rehab, when you buy the house, you have $100,000 sitting in your bank account. There's no credit check. There's no debt to income check. There's none of those things. And that comes from a private money lender, which is 100% relationship based. So there's nobody you can call. There's nobody you can Google. You actually got to go out here and talk to people in real life to lend you money. So, like, for example, we pay 8 to 12% for private money. Normally, when people have money in the stock market, they're earning 2, 4, 6, 8%. So if we can double or triple what they're earning in the stock market, you know, when it fluctuates up and down, there's crashes, and I can put you as a first lien position on a piece of real estate and give you a promissory note personally and through the business, a first mortgage, title insurance, and hazard insurance. Like, what's more secure than a piece of land that has all those documents in place? So that's how I've been able to build my entire business. You know, I've been able to raise over $20 million from private money lenders and have 100% of my real estate portfolio funded by other people's money.
Ooh,
really
real estate never loses its value. That's huge.
No, never.
Thanks for asking that, Jessica. That was a great question.
Yeah, that was a really great question.
One more nugget. Like, people are always like, cool, well, where do I find these private money lenders? So where you find them is literally everywhere. At the bank, at a golf course, at a country club, at a steakhouse, walking down the sidewalk. And the way that you get people interested, whoever you're talking to, like, spark a conversation. Hey, nice shoes, nice dress, where you headed to? It always leads to, well, what do you do? You know, you ask them or they ask you. So back in the day, somebody would ask me, like, what do you do, Austin? I'd be like, oh, I'm in real estate. They'd be like, oh, cool, and then turn around and walk away. And that was the end of the conversation. But you have to be, and this is in everything, by the way, sales, right? If you're trying to sell, if you're trying to be a realtor, if you're trying to sell a course, if you're trying to,
you're selling this.
yes.
You. Yeah.
So
they're going, oh, you're selling something, I'm out. They don't want to be sold. People like to buy, but.
Agreed. So people ask me, what do I do now? And if I'm looking to raise private money, my response is, yeah, I'm actually a real estate developer, and I teach other people how to invest their money into real estate and earn double-digit returns. What do you mean? How do you do that? Boom. Your foot's in the
Spark it. Yep.
Or if you're trying to sell a course, there's a young kid that comes up to me when I'm getting out of the Rolls Royce Wraith, and they're like, yo, bro, like, what do you do for a living? Actually, I teach people just like yourself how to get rich as well. Like, it's all about being interesting and sparking conversation. So for private money, what's worked for me is, hey, I'm a real estate developer, and I actually teach other people how to invest their money into real estate and earn double-digit returns.
I love that.
Incredible.
I love that. Hey, I got to ask you before we leave, did your YouTube shirts come in yet?
That's it. I
had to ask you, I'm like, man, they come in yet or what? I was giving you a hard time the other day on your live. That was funny.
I got 3 more colors coming.
Yeah, buddy. I got to get some too. That's so funny. But it goes back to, marketing your brain yourself, like you were saying. I actually love that. When I first saw that, I'm like, oh, man, no brainer.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm thinking like I got to get shirts, Jessica Taylor Realty, just like right on the front and wear them everywhere. I think my husband would kill me if I wore a T-shirt everywhere though.
You gotta do.
You get multiple ones. You get clever sayings and stuff like that, but it gets the point across. You want something that people are going to remember or kind of laugh about type thing too. Or at least that's my impact on it, because
that's your style though. Like, you love making people laugh. Like, everybody, that's what's so great. Again, like, there's only one version of us. No one can be us, you guys. I mean, be who you are, and whatever brand you want that to be, however you want to represent yourself, be that person. But make sure when you walk out that front door every single day that you are nothing but that individual. That's it.
So, I do have some questions from the audience. Do you invest in index funds?
No, I do not. I don't have any money in the stock market.
Do you invest money in a Roth IRA?
Yes, but that money's in crypto.
What's the next big one, man? What's the next big one you think?
I mean, I think it's Hex and Pulse, but time will tell on those.
Isn't there like a Dodge or Dogecoin Junior or something, like a second version of it?
Yeah, I don't personally pay attention. I have no idea.
Like, what is happening now? I'm like, I can't even keep up. It's crazy.
Next question: do you meditate?
Yes, every day. So there's different types of meditation. I don't like sit there and like hum, but I take time for myself and like actually think. You know what I mean? So I do my own type of meditation. Yes.
All right. And what kind of tax advisor do you use?
So I have a bookkeeper that handles all the books, and then I have a CPA that helps figure out how I don't have to pay taxes. But I've been through a couple, and as you grow, you'll continue to scale. But like I need somebody helping me that either has as much money as I have or has managed clients with the same amount of money that I have. Because like I don't want to be teaching you. Like, I'm paying you to teach me. So I've kind of grown with people as I've grown as well. But just a CPA, but he's just experienced, obviously.
Absolutely. The next question is, do you invest in Ethereum, which is a different kind of Bitcoin, obviously?
Ethereum?
That one right there.
Ethereum. I own some Ethereum, not a bunch, but a little bit. Yeah.
All right. If there's any other questions out there, go ahead and drop them in the comments.
I have a question. How much time do we have left, Jess?
We have about 5 minutes.
We have about 5 minutes. All right. Just so we're all aware, we do get like cut off right at 1 hour, and it'll just go dead on us. So 5 minutes left. That's a good amount of time. What is one thing, Austin, that you want to accomplish? Like the biggest, like in your gut, like you're not there yet. You haven't started it yet. Maybe you have. You've thought about it, and you're like, I have to do this before my time's up on this earth. What is it?
I mean, so there's a lot of like small things, like places I want to travel to, things I want to do, things I want to give back to my parents. But like at the end of the day, like I want to change people's lives. I want to speak on stage in front of hundreds and thousands of people. Cause like that's the most rewarding thing to me. When I get a message that like, yo, I was finally able to quit my job, or, hey, you were the one that pushed me to quit my job and now I've made more money than I've ever made. I got goosebumps literally just talking about it. Like those
Me too.
Changing people's lives. You are making an
Changing
impact.
People's lives. You are making an impact. Like just giving them that confidence. I mean, so many people out there, they have so many dreams and they have such brilliant ideas, but that fear holds them back. And if you just let go and get out of your head and just take those steps forward, you don't know what you could do. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You fail. So what? Get back up on your feet. If you don't try, you're never going to know if you're successful and if you have the ability to do it or if it's going to get done. Ever. 100%. So you've got to give it a chance.
I've never met anybody in my life ever that says, I wish I would have stayed on my job longer. Every single
Exactly. No, and you'll never hear anybody. Never. Do your own thing. Be your own person. Get out there. Drive yourself every single day. And if somebody tells you you can't, use that as fuel. Just feed it. That's all you got to do. Use it as gasoline to the fire. I mean, because people literally, they're going to know, it doesn't matter what you do. People are never going to be happy with what you do. And they're going to look at you as competition, or they're going to be upset or envious because they didn't ever have the guts to do what you're trying to accomplish in your life. So use that. Be your human and just fucking take the bull by the horns and live your life. Oh my God.
Like, do it.
Just do it, man. Life is too short. Would you rather go out of this world knowing that you didn't give it an opportunity and just constantly thinking, what if?
Oh, I got too many what ifs. I don't want one more.
Just do it. No, just do it.
Leaving corporate world was one of the best things I ever did. So thankful to leave that environment. Nope. Bosses that didn't appreciate you. You work hours you don't get paid for. You're never working for yourself. Like, all these people are making millions of dollars off of your work. No.
Hours, blood, sweat, follow your dream. To grow someone else's thing?
Nope.
No way.
No, thank you.
What was your first job, Austin?
I was a ballet. So I got a book From Ballet to Millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
Ballet was what I started in. I think I did it for like 2 years, maybe 2.5. And so I flipped my first house. I made $107,000 in profit. And I went back to ballet, and I went back to college. And then
that was your first house?
Yeah, so it was a great first deal. And then flipped my second house, made 40, so I had like 150 in profit. And then I quit school and quit ballets.
Yeah, I can relate to that, kind of. Not with the flipping, but some similarities there. Yeah.
So if someone wanted to buy your book, where would they find that?
So I'll give it away for free. So if you go to theaustinrutherford.com and click the education section, or just click the link in my bio, you just put your name and email, I'll send you a copy of it for free. But the book is titled From Ballet to Millionaire. The subtitle is The 10 Things They Don't Teach You to Become Rich. So they is like your parents, your teachers, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, all these people that are trying to hold you down and be small.
The no-sayers.
That they don't tell you to actually get to where you want to be.
Love that.
Nice.
I want to make sure, too, if you guys are crazy, if you don't go check out his YouTube channel. Seriously. I mean, golden nuggets like you wouldn't believe. It's entertaining also as well. And you can learn every single video. You can learn at least one thing, guaranteed.
I appreciate it.
Even your Instagram, same way. Phenomenal. Like every video I watched, it was like something new, and I got on your Q&A, and it was just like question. You were on top of it. Like I'm thoroughly impressed.
For sure.
So what's your YouTube handle? What's your Instagram handle? I mean, is it all the same? Your Facebook? What do people?
It's all the same.
Yeah. So YouTube's Austin Rutherford. Instagram and TikTok is Austin Rutherford Official.
Perfect.
Oh, you're on TikTok. Okay.
Yep.
Tiki-taki.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'm new to it. It's such a love-hate. I hated it. I'm like, this is so dumb. I'm like, hey, you can link your Instagram to it? Okay, let me get into this now. So,
Pete, if you want to build a brand and you're not on TikTok, you're failing. 100% guaranteed. I have 550,000 followers on TikTok, which has led to hundreds of thousands of followers.
Whoa! What? I have like
That's
5.
crazy.
I'm excited to check out your TikTok now. Yeah.
It's the easiest way to grow right now, and it's 100% free. I got a video that did like 8 million views. Like I posted a video for free and got in front of 8 million different people. So
That's incredible.
It's the biggest opportunity.
If I get 4,000, I'm like, I'm like,
I get like a few hundred. I'm excited.
We just broke a record. I'm like, where's the Guinness book? Let me get it. Let me sign.
I had one that was decent, and I felt it's crazy because like I had one that was decent, and I felt like it was my worst video. And it's like, man, I can't really figure it out. So I'm just trying to just pump out everything and see what sticks right now.
Yep, 100%.
Jess, what are we at in time?
We have a few more minutes. There's another question.
Okay.
Do you get paid on TikTok?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
but like, I mean, I think I've made like $2,000 or something. I've posted hundreds and hundreds of videos. So you don't make the money on TikTok. You make the money from the relationships and the eyeballs that you're able to build from TikTok.
What's your favorite platform, Austin?
So TikTok, I get the most eyeballs. So TikTok is huge. The actual YouTube pays me the most, but it takes the most time to create.
Right.
Instagram I love because it's very easy to communicate. You can swipe up, you can write a message, you can make a post.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Instagram, but TikTok and YouTube I think is where the opportunities are at right now.
Awesome. We'll definitely all have to jump on those and get our TikTok up to speed so we can be cool like you. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Austin, thank you so much for being here.
Much love, brother.
Awesome.
Much love.
Absolutely. Appreciate the opportunity to jump on.
Thank you so much.
Connected.
Absolutely.
We will
And
talk
everyone out there, Thursdays, we go live at 6 p.m. every Thursday with a special guest, or we drop some nuggets of our own.
Make sure you follow Austin. You are crazy.
Follow Austin, and you heard it here first. He'll be back. We're gonna bring him back for you guys.
Absolutely.
For sure, 100%. All right, thank you, Austin.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.